Hey there, vinyl community. Welcome to my channel, The Vinyl Countdown. I'm Peaches. I am so excited to introduce myself to the vinyl community. This is my first YouTube video. I am very nervous. I can barely run a smartphone, and I'm going to tell you right now that that's what I'm recording this on. I have been collecting vinyl. This might come to a shock to some people, but I have been collecting vinyl for approximately 1 year. Now, don't get me wrong. I have been a music lover for ever and ever since I can remember my first memories. I remember a few things from when I was very, very young, still in diapers, believe it or not. My mom brought home a Sha Na Na record, and I wasn't even in school yet, and I remember it. I thought it was awesome. All those guys on the front cover, and things just took off from there. I mean, I have a history of music. I own several guitars. I play guitar. I play drums. I play a little bit of piano. I play a little bit of bass guitar. I was in orchestra for 12 years. I played first chair violin, second chair violin. But violin music is the only music I can read. Everything else is by ear. I remember going back super far to when I was in grade school, and we would go over to my mom's sister's house, my aunt, and I was so bored. My mom was there to visit her. There were no other kids around. It was me and my sister. I didn't want to hang with her. I want to do my own thing. I'm a young boy. Yeah, I'm a tree climber at this point. But I remember going over to my aunt's house, and we were introduced to this new thing called MTV. And wow, I was not really a TV watcher. I was outside riding my dirt bikes at home. I was out playing in the woods. I was making firewood. I grew up on 40 acres out in the country. We were very isolated. So the once or twice a week that we would go to town, when we were at my aunt's house, it was MTV. I laid down on the living room floor and I looked up at the television like this, and I'm just like, oh my God. Oh my God. You know, and this same aunt of mine would let me take her cassette tapes home. And this was in the early mid 80s, where vinyl and, tapes were the new thing. Cassette tapes, take your music where you're going, boom boxes, things like that. So she was introducing me to Quiet Riot. I remember the Def Leppard tape I took home from her house. And I would play that song over and over and over again. So I had, at the time I was taking home a different tape from her house. I don't even remember if I was stealing them from her or if she said, take this home, because this stuff was new. I mean, it was like, was she giving away her boyfriend's tapes? I have no idea, but I ended up with them at my house, and I was throwing them in a little tape player at first, and it was and Twisted Sister and Quiet Riot, and yeah, I fell in love. I fell in love with hair metal. Some of you guys are, early rock. I gotta have my Black Sabbath and my Kiss and my all that stuff. And I was just like, not hard enough for me, not big enough for me, not loud enough for me. I must have been that next generation. So I'm babbling on a lot, I understand, but for us people that grew up in the 80s, I was born in the early 70s, was in grade school in the 80s, and I just explained my earliest memories of music to you guys, a part of it, and it was boomboxes, the Ghetto Blaster. One kid in school, he was the rich farm kid, and he had some extra money from doing chores, and the thing he bought with it was this big fat ass boombox. It took I don't know, 12 DC batteries, probably 10, 8, whatever. All I know is that it weighed twice as much when they put the batteries into it as it was when it was empty. And the first tape he brought to school was Kiss Animalizer. And Kiss had been around forever before this. They're we're talking what? 84, 85, somewhere around that one. Animalizer came out. I got it in here, but 84, 85, yeah. We're talking Van Halen, 1984. So, yeah, the first tape he brought to school was Kiss Animalizer, and that song, Heaven's on Fire. Whoa. We walked around that playground, during our lunch breaks and our midday break or our morning break or whatever. And he had that boombox all the way to 10 with the fresh batteries in it, and Kiss Animalizer hit play. And it was, nobody else got to carry it around. It was just him on his shoulders. And there was 6 other guys just following him around the playground the whole time we were out there. And we'd rewind and play it again and rewind and play it again. And then, some other kid, and then I brought in Van Halen 1984, which was another one that I got from my aunt. And, hey, play this one, dude. Hey, play this one, So he would let us play our tapes in his boombox, and we would follow him around. And oh my God, Hot for the Teacher, Kiss Animalizer, Panama. That was it. We were in love with hair metal, Van Halen came out before, I understand that, before it actually got called hair metal, or we were recognizing it as hair metal, but that's what it was evolving to at the time. And I am here to tell you right now that I am as proud as a peacock to have been born in that, into that moment, being that age at that time where I was the roller coaster was right at the top, and you're looking over, and that was what music was going to be until 1990, 1991, 1992. It was just going to be a roller coaster ride of craziness. Okay, let's do that then. Let's show some records. Here is the first one we were just talking about that came to mind from my memories. It's Quiet Riot, Metal Health. And I am telling you, when I first heard this, like I said, you heard the story before, got this from my aunt on a tape. It made me stand up at attention, ooh, what is this? I'm used to okay, this is not Juice Newton, Mom. This is not Kenny Rogers. This is not Creedence Clearwater Revival. This is something very, very different. Very different. And all you guys out there know that are my age or older, usually, I'm not BSing you. This was what? And then you took a look at these guys. I mean, I think the tape might have had more of a fold-out deal going on, where they had them in color, and they showed all the outfits they were wearing in color. And I think the singer here was wearing, I think they were boxing high tops. you know, you had wrestling shoes and high tops, but these were the sneakers that went all the way up to your knees almost, and then he had like striped tights on, and oh, wow, this was when all the fashion was rewritten for hair metal, definitely. Quiet Riot, Stay Hungry, or not Stay Hungry, Metal Health. Duh. All right, then the next one that really laid the pavement right here. My aunt sent me home with this tape, and I just about lost it. And it was on MTV as well. It was on MTV, and that's what really freaked you out when you saw these guys on TV. Who is that guy? He is probably one of the ugliest men on earth, I think. But he got famous. And to this day, I can't even hardly look at the guy. And he does not make a very pretty woman. I'll tell you that. Twisted Sister, Stay Hungry. An unbelievable album. Sorry about the glare, it's still in the cellophane. It's an original copy. It's a first pressing. Most all of my 80s stuff is first pressing stuff. If it is not, I will let you know. But you can almost guarantee that most everything I got is going to be a first pressing. And this one just happens to still be in the cellophane. Now, we had some really good stuff on here. Stay Hungry. We're Not Gonna Take It. We're Not Gonna Take It. Oh, the video, insane. A bunch of other good ones on there. And I'll show you guys later, I got a ton of Twisted Sister albums. I got a ton of Kiss albums. I got a ton of Quiet Riot albums. Or not a ton, there's probably like 3 or 4 of them in there. Didn't have a lot. But, yeah. And here's the first one. Okay, I gotta show you this one. This was the one that we had on the playground. Kiss Animalize. I mean, I know earlier I called it Animalizer. That's what we called it when we were kids. It was just kind of like a extended cool name for it, like Animalizer, like the Equalizer or something like that, you know. But a Kiss Animalizer was the first one in the boombox with my buddy's boombox. First tape, first boombox I ever saw. And the tune was Heavens on Fire. Blew my mind. Like all the other stuff, the Kiss stuff, I'm sorry, but you can have it. As far as I'm concerned, Creedence Clearwater Revival on some of their good days was heavier than Kiss. And that's what I was on the warpath for. After being exposed to all this other stuff and this, I was on the warpath for something much heavier. Even as a grade school kid, I needed more. I don't know if you remember that tune Heavens on Fire, but you should check it out. Just Google it or something. Or if you got the record, throw it on again. It was probably the hardest tune from what my experience with them that they ever made. Just get up off your seat and rock. All right. And then at the same time in school, I was telling you about the guy with the boombox again. My schoolmate. This was the first one I brought to him in tape form to put in the boombox. And this Van Halen 1984. I'm sure you guys are familiar with most all of these albums that I'm pulling up here. But it's just, you know, I'm just getting to know you guys. You know what I'm saying? Tell you a little bit about how my beginnings came about. And there's Eddie and the boys on there. And some people may not know this, but these guys aren't actually American. The Van Halen's not really an American band. They're both boys came here when they were like 9 years old with their parents. From what I understand, the father was, I think he was Dutch, and then the mother was Indonesian, and them two got married, and they had both boys, and then they moved here from over there in that, I don't remember if it was Indonesia or the Dutch area, but when they were 9 years old, over here to the United States. And I watched a big documentary on them about how they're classically trained at piano in like grade school, and they moved on to obviously much bigger things from then on. But yeah, I'll show you guys later. And it's a whole bunch more Van Halen albums in the vault. But then I have something else I want to show you, but we're going to save a whole new video for it, because right at about that time as well, something happened in my life, and that threw me for a loop, because after being exposed to a lot of this, not pre-hair metal, but, you know, metamorphosizing hair metal stuff, and listening to my mom and dad's oldies stuff, this life-changing event happened, and it was called this. I discovered a new kind of music. But that's for a whole other video. And I'm telling you, this album flipped me out. It's not hair metal. It's not oldies. It's something else entirely. It's like the aliens landed. Who are these people and what are they doing here? But that's all I'm going to say. All I'm going to say right now. I'm just going to tell you right now. I'm going to make another video because this was a life-changing event for me. Definitely. All right. I think it's really awesome to tell stories about growing up in that time in the 80s. As a teenager, I wouldn't trade it for the world. I wouldn't have. It's not just the music. I mean, I think I got to explain it this way. We're all music lovers. We all love vinyl. And from what I can see from a lot of other people's videos, it's not just vinyl. It's CDs, it's vinyl, it's tapes, it's posters, memorabilia. It's stuff all over your walls like this, you know. This is just the tip of the iceberg, by the way. It wraps all the way around. And we'll do a room video later sometime. But we're all music lovers, and I think the 80s was a particularly awesome time to grow up, and I want to share that in all my videos. Those trips to the carnival, oh man, the girls, the cars, the music, the situations were just awesome. But back to business. Like I said at the beginning of this, I have been collecting vinyl for about a year now. It started in September on my birthday of 2016. My wife comes home on my birthday with a brand new Audio Technica? Yeah, record player from the local record store. And she brought home one record, and it was, drum roll please, Olivia Newton-John's Greatest Hits. I don't know why she picked that one out, but I adore it. And then we went over to her mom and dad's house, and because she said, oh, they had some old records down in the basement and stuff. And we brought a pile home. And then at the end of October, it just hit, boom. Started really hitting the road, my wife and I. Just every antique mall, every flea market, every garage sale, every record store we have been to from October of 2016 until now, which is the day after Halloween is when I'm recording this. We have been to almost every record store in the state of Wisconsin. And I'm not joking. We have been to a ton of antiques malls. And we are up to, in 1 year, from nothing to just under 600 records. You know, and like I said, these weren't all bought from one guy. They were bought one at a time from anywhere you can think of. And I have almost everything I want for metal. I have not quite as much as what I'd like to have for 80s pop, synth, whatever. I'm really looking forward to picking up a copy of that Depeche Mode album with Personal Jesus on it. There was another guy in the vinyl community here that watched one of his videos. I can't remember his name off the bat, but real down to earth guy. But he's got mega thousands of albums, and in one of his videos, he was talking about his coming of age albums. It must have been late 80s, early 90s, and that Depeche Mode one really tripped my trigger. I was like, oh yes, I gotta get that. I forgot all about that one, but it's the one with Personal Jesus on it. So I got almost all the metal. I got like 4 big containers full of 80s metal. I got like 3 racks of 80s pop, soundtracks, compilations. Then I got one big tote over here of more modern stuff from 90s on up. And we have one bin of oldies, anywhere from the 40s to the late 70s. So hopefully I'll be able to start sharing that stuff with you guys. I'm going to try to get this all figured out with this YouTube stuff and get some more videos going your way. And keep watching everybody else's. I'm really loving the channel 33 RPM guy. He's really out there getting it done. Very professional videos, huge. And then Vinyl Victim, Brett, I like that guy. He's totally awesome. You'll have to check out his channel, Vinyl Victim, on YouTube. The guy has almost the same taste in music that I do. He seems to be just a tad bit into more of the earlier stuff than I am. This music that I showed you today, it's what I was exposed to when I was that age, but it just kept getting better, and it was all part of that roller coaster ride through the 80s. But my personal favorites they'll come up in other videos, but they are a little bit later than his. But I love Back in Black. That's totally awesome. So that's about all I got for you today. Hang tight, more videos coming. This is the Vinyl Countdown. I'm Peaches, and have a great night.